we're live on there. Hopefully you are still with us. Well, some of you are here with us after our leading time. But we're getting ready to go live concerning part two of the topic tonight, fathering a child that's not yours, part two. Happy to have you aboard with us to await our co-hosts and other hosts to join us. I hope you had a wonderful Sunday. I know I had a wonderful resurrection Sunday. Dealing with great family time, with great outings, great and being feeding and told over to Monday. And have a wonderful day. So it was cloudy right here in the sun and right here in the heart of Houston, Texas, but it was a wonderful, cool, breezy day. You had a wonderful day as well. You just hopefully in one of these states I'll be in. Oscar or visiting. All right, as we make ready for our show, as we make ready for our show, as we make ready for our show. I know I'm being redundant. It's okay. I'm having a little fun as we move forward here. As we commence tonight, um, heading toward the show, Fathering a Child That's Not Yours, Part 2, is a very serious job to do. I find it to be fun, but it can somewhat be hurtful and distasteful at the end. Um, Destroying a child's life or helping a child's life is only the way it's going to turn out to be. The invitation of coming into a child's life, if you're not serious about being in a child's life, you should not put yourself there. Our children are just going to the dogs. I look around and I see what the government has done by giving the women's welfare and food stamps, and they told them that you didn't need the father. And now that the father is gone, our children are rampant and raging up and down the street, shooting and killing one another. Every time you turn around, I'm looking at the news, a 21 or 22-year-old have lost their life arguing over children, arguing over money, arguing over cars, arguing over different types of things that if the father was in their life, and it's been proven over 98% of the ones who are losing their lives in the street, whether it be the sons or the daughter, their father was not in their life. I can't stress tonight how important it is for a child to be a father to be in a child's life. It's so important that we as men be in our children's life. Shouldn't be a struggle for a man to be in his own seed life. The seed belongs to the man. The woman carried the seed. That's in the book of Genesis. But she bear his children. His children. So you can't raise the child without the father. There has to be a father or a father figure in a child's life. God sent his son Jesus, but he told Joseph to be a father to him in a natural manner. Joseph's responsibility as a father figure was to look after the child, protect the child, and take care of the child. In this hour, they are marrying the girl, and the girl is hating that she got a child, and both of them are doing things to the child. Many of our children are growing up in home and domestic abuse by the parents. We don't often talk on it, but tonight, hopefully, we can get to it tonight about the children being abused by the parents. Many men, and I want to make this real clear to a lot of women, a lot of men do not like women with other children in the house. They don't like the child because the child belongs to an ex and is part of your past, and men don't take that too kindly. But he loves the woman that he's with. If you can't see it, let me paint a picture for you. You, as a woman, don't like a man with baggage, and you don't like the idea that if he or she have any kind of contact with their ex, as a woman, you don't like that. This is the same behavior of a man, but only aggressive. Because if you know anything about a lion, when a lion comes in and take over, he must whoop the king lion of there. And when he kills the king of there, he then go and whoop the mama into submission. Once he get through whooping the female lion in submission, he then turn and kill the cubs. This same behavior is in men. I don't approve of it. I don't like it, but it's happening every day. I see it happen every day. What can we do as men to help the younger man understand that if you can't handle this, don't entangle yourself in it? Yes, it's hurtful, it's cruel when you've done all you can do, and a slap in the face at the end of the day, the child tells you that it's not, you are not his father or her father, and then give no credit to you. And then once the child become grown and gone on his own, the woman herself then tells the man, you know, I just don't want the marriage no more. It's over. So it looks and it is that she really used the man to help raise a child. I see why in the book of Genesis it says for the woman to remain a widow until the last child have left the nest. That's what it says in the book of Genesis. I see why God said that. But then I understood he said, if you take on this battle, man, woman, if you take on this battle, then you, man, you are responsible for treating that child as if it is the same child of yours. You shouldn't mistreat a child. I don't care what the circumstances is. I don't care what come of it. You shouldn't mistreat a child. No one should ever mistreat a child. No one. No one. I don't care who you are, especially men, because those are seed. It may not be your seed, but it is another man's seed. And it's something else that I want to address while I waited on the co-host and the host to make it tonight. Uh, a man, we as men need to learn to take up for another man's seed. We as men need to talk to one another about our seed instead of abusing the man's seed. Oh, but one day, if we can all get on one page, we all can become that one. We all can become that strong tower. We all that can become that strength to each other. That your child is no better than my child. As men, we teach our children to become responsible and to respect others as men when we teach one another how to love each other kids instead of men getting into it with each other, fighting each other. If you're not in the home, good evening, Miss Wood. If you're not in the home with your child, hey man, me and the mother worked out. Guess what? I'm going to help you out with your child. Listen, I'm gonna make arrangements for you. Get your child, spend time with your child, the whole 9 yards. not just bulldozer the woman and then bamboozle the children. These younger men need to learn this. Not only these younger men, but looks like we need to teach some of these old men the same thing. That we are using the women as a battling ground and destroying their children at the same time. I don't think it's fair. I know it's not fair and it's not right for us to do so. What can we do to better this situation? How can we better this situation? The first thing we need to do, and I'm waiting on them as I hope I'm not riding by myself, but if I am, it's okay. Um, the first thing we need to do as men is to come to the conclusion of destroying each other's seed is a downfall. If we destroy each other's seed, if we good evening, Miss Cook, good evening, good evening. If we destroy each other's seed, then we destroy each other. My son should not be fighting your son, but as a minority, men. This right here. We should uphold and respect one another. Just off of this, especially from where we come from. Our ancestors, slaves, driven in the BC 1600 into slavery by God. By God. Driven. And here it is, we are free physically, but psychologically, mentally, we are in prison. We're in prison to our own action, in prison to our own behavior. We're just solid in prison. Why are we in prison? Why? Because we don't want change. What is change? Better, new beginning, prosperity. We want the money, we want the house, we want the cars, we want everything to go with it. But the truth of the matter, we taught this in the church, but how come we're not teaching on family being strong and prosperity? Not just my house be full and your house be empty. How come we can't teach in and be with each other and grow each other? I don't want to live in the biggest house on the block and your house is beneath my house. Or your house is bigger than my house at the top of the block, and then I'm at the bottom and you look and that's what we do as men. We're in competition with one another and we're always looking down our nose at each other because we want to be the kingpin. That's not what God designed us for as men. He designed us to build, never to destroy, to defame, never to tear down, to erupt, but to be brutal to the truth and to be mature to handle. That's what he made us for. To be sensitive on one end, but strengthening on the other end. I can't say it enough as I look over our young generation of men. I'm afraid for our younger generation of men. Our young ladies don't have no husbands and fiancés no more. They want to wear dresses, and the girls around here want to wear the pants. Where is the identification now? That's what I'm looking at because you don't know if you, when you're walking behind someone, is this a girl or a boy? We're in trouble. And it's all because we as men are not in our children's lives. The woman is made to carry the seed, but the man is made to raise the seed. I'm going to say that one more time. A woman's job is to birth the child, carry and birth it. The man's job is to raise the child. If you go back into the book of Genesis, it literally says this, that a woman is to birth his child and to obey her husband. That's the only two jobs a woman has. But the man's job is to raise his seed and work by the sweat of his brow to take care of the woman and the child. That's the Bible. That's the book. Now we're dealing with men who care not to do their jobs and their responsibility. I'm afraid for our young girls, and we are turning them into lesbians and bulldaggers and whatever you want to call that. We'll turn them into that because at the end of the day, we are responsible for the woman, man. We responsible for them. God ain't coming to deal with her. He coming straight to deal with us and say, listen, same thing I told your forefather Adam, I'm telling you, I gave you the charge. So men, let's grab horns and grab hope to our sons. You can't grab hope to your son because you're dealing with legal matters and all of that. Do not go over to court, but fight for your child and wait for your child. And when the child get of age enough to make up his own mind, believe me, the child gonna want to know who the father is, who his or her father is, and they're gonna come looking for the father. Don't let your wrongdoing be the one cause the child not to be in your life. I ain't take care of you because I told your mama, excuse me, that I didn't want a child. You gonna tell a child that you don't want it? You don't want your child? What kind of man or woman that don't want the child? What kind of stuff is that? To even say to a child that you don't want. And women, you shouldn't run your man off or the child's fathers off. I wanted to deal with something tonight, but I think it may be too much intense, but I'll give a peep to it. You know, we often challenge women who are whores. But the true definition of a whore is a woman with multiple children with multiple fathers. Do you not know facts, ladies, that women are still virgin, even being sexually active on according to the biblical standpoint, a woman is still a virgin if she's sexually active. She loses her virgin moment the first child that she has. This has been proven biblically. The first child that comes through her, she is no longer a virgin. But sexually active, she's still a virgin. I was like, wow. When I looked it up and medically, it's true. It's true. It's true. And so, men, we got to learn who we giving our seeds to. Are we giving it to a woman that's a true mother or a queen that she should be, not a handmaid, not a concubine, but a wife and a queen that knows how to handle the home. Book of Proverbs says a foolish woman will tear down a home, but a wise woman will build a home. At the end of the day, men, who did we give our seed to? That's the question to ask. Who did you give your seed to? Because if you're giving your seed to the wrong woman, then there you have it. She's going to have Mikey. She's going to have Brandon and Larry and all of these others over your child. And your child will come up hurt. Your child will come up killed. Your child would come up being left alone. I was looking right here online here in Houston. This young lady abandoned her children and moved to Mobile, not Mobile, I'm sorry, Alabama. What is it? Birmingham, Alabama. Went up there and was living with another man and left her two beautiful kids in the house, and yet was on Facebook like she really was taking care of her children, like she's really was doing the most with her children and her family. She she looked like she was doing great, but the truth of the matter is the two other kids that she had three, but the two other kids were left in the house, hungry, no food, just left. And the truth of it was, they were left and abandoned in a beautiful brand new home. Being abandoned in the brand new home, left there for 3 months until one of the little children called the father and said, "We hungry. Can you order us some food?" And send it to her. And he started calling the mother. "Wait a minute, I'm sending child support. Why is my kid hungry?" That's another topic I want to deal with about child support. Child support. Women who get child support and they're abusing it. Men, I want to talk to you and show you how to get off child support. Write in to me. P.O. Box 2263, A-Leaf, Texas 77411. Try again. P.O. Box 2263, A-Leaf, Texas 77411. I can show you men how to get off child support and get joint custody of your child. That way you won't have to pay child support and you would know where your money goes. That way you are responsible for your seed. A man in a black robe shouldn't be taking dollars out of your pocket and out of the house where your child at in order. They go on child support. They're supposed to get $300 a month. When they get through with all the court fees and everything in the court, child support is only sending to the house maybe 120, 125. The courts is eating up all that money, eating up all your money, court fees and court orders and all this stuff got to be paid in the court. So your child is not getting $300 for child support. It's getting that $120 out of that $300 for child support. And women, they're so angry. These young girls are so angry until they're going down there and hurting them children and hurting themselves for $1. Is this what we come to now? That the children are only worth the paycheck for you to go get some weed put in your head and these umbrella eyelashes y'all got on y'all eyes and a beautiful car and makeup follow you home, your house dirty, clothes dirty, roaches crawling everywhere. Lord have mercy. And then you got Pookie and other people coming over to your house. And you talking about you want to be married. That's why the man left you with the children, because your house wasn't clean, it was dirty. And we ain't gonna even talk about the bedroom. Because I've had many conversations with young men that ask, why you gonna stay with your mama, the child mom? Man, I put up with it as long as I can. She don't clean her body. She don't take care of her. She stink. Man, I can't do it no more. I try to tell her. I try to buy stuff for her. She don't use it. She don't want to listen. She know everything. She tell me that she want me to leave so she can put me on child support because she don't need me. She just need my check. And we wonder why these young men is killing these girls now. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they are killing your daughters. Men, let's get a hotel with sons and teach them. It ain't worth you taking that young girl's life. It's not worth it. The importance of it is to endure what you laid your seed at and still be a father. Because the child got 18 years, and I'm sure you can stand 15, 18 years to take care of your child. And when he get old, guess what? You gonna get old. Who gonna be there to take care of you? Who gonna look after you? Who gonna protect you? Who gonna do it? Mama was wrong, but mama's still in the house with the child. And that's all they know. Mama figure out a way for me to get these tennis shoes. Mama figure out a way for me to get me something to eat. Mama this, mama that, mama this. But behind the scenes, daddy's money is on the table. And it ain't being mentioned that your dad is something this child support every week and every month or every 2 weeks for you to have what you need to have. And not gonna tell him that. So what we got now is a woman and women, and I ain't gonna say all women, but a few women who are separating the children from the father to use them for a paycheck. Stop laying your seeds with these women, man. A $5 dress and a $2 pair of slippers, gonna cost you $70,000. Listen, if she ain't doing nothing with her life now, what make you think she gonna do something with her life when she with you? We've gotten to the point that's all we care about is how fine she is. Oh, she built. Look at her, man. Look at her. She wearing those spandex. She's so fine. Look at her. Ooh, she fine. But you ain't paying attention. If she can't offer you the real her, then how is it that she can be real to you? If she can't be real to herself, brethren, how can she be real to you? If she's a fake, and that's what she snagged you by, the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, the lipstick, the makeup, all of that stuff that she beguiled you with. What is the entrapment that she won't let you see the real her? If she's ashamed of her own self and the realness of herself, the way she look, the way she feel, what make you think she gonna treat you better? That's impossible. It's not going to happen. Why give your seed to a woman like that that's going to cause you grief and your child grief? I remember in the Bible there was a scripture that said, if they dance with you, marry the one that dance, but the one that don't move nor dance, leave her sitting right there. The Bible says when a woman is taken to a man, her desires is a husband. If she can't be your desire, if you can't be her desire, you can hang it up. Marriage is not in her. And let me say this to you while I'm in it. You can't put whorish out of a woman. She has to go in there and pull that whorish out of herself with her wandering eyes, wandering mind, looking over the fence, always hustling for a dollar in the background. Enough is never enough with her. This is the young lady that you are entertaining. Listen, let me tell you something. If she don't remove the whorish out of herself, what make you think you gonna remove the whorish out of her? It's her. And I'm not deflating the woman, I'm deflating the man because at the end of the day, the woman can't get herself pregnant. Only the man can get the woman pregnant. We as men are laying our seed and wondering why the world is messed up. Who are we giving our seeds to? Who are we giving our children to? It's important that we understand the importance of not giving our seed to these types of women. We need to know who we are dealing with, who we are talking with, communicating with. We're so quick to get in the bed and gap their legs open. How about we gap their mind open first? Because I tasted her mind and found out I was still starving. I went to the root of her mouth for a drink of water, found out that I'm still thirsty. I'm thirsty. There is nothing. There is nothing that's coming from her that can build me but tear me down. How she tear you down? In reality, you tearing your own self down because every day you get in the bed, when you climbing on top of her, you actually losing strength. So you wonder why you're droopy and tired. Stay off of her. Fall in love with her. Get to know the woman that you with and fall in love with her outside the bedroom. The bedroom should just be a plus. But to mentally fall in love with her will be suffice enough to hold her, caress her. And where there is unity, there is strength. No unity, no strength. You're going to be tired. You're going to be wore out. You're going to be, it's going to be terrible. I'm telling you, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible for you. It's going to be terrible for you because it's more than, it's more. It's more than just the bedroom, young man. Young man, it is more than just the bedroom. The bedroom is just going to come. There's nothing more about the bedroom. It's going to happen because God gave you the tools that's meant for the bedroom. Now you worn yourself out. You're having an erection problem because you done sold your seeds and you dropped your seeds all over the place, everywhere. Now you're having an erection problem. You can't get up. And now the right woman done come along and she got to suffer for your bad past. Tore yourself down. Why would you tear yourself down like that? Why would you put yourself in a position? Let me tell you something, younger man. What you do in your younger days is going to show up in your older days. What you do in your younger days is going to show up in your older days. You have children. We want to stop the killing in the street. We got to go to the head source. The source is the man. Because a woman can't get herself pregnant, only the man can. And we as men is the only one can stop our children from killing one another, doing drugs. Our daughters up and down the street dressing like whores and vaginas all out. And you can look up the crack of their behind and they got their breasts out and you can see their nipples everywhere. No respect. And it's nothing worse than what I see nowadays, an old man trying to lay on top of a young girl. That's so terrible. You will bring a woman home and a girl and lay with her, and she is old enough to be your granddaughter. You are pathetic. You are synthetic. You're worthless. You are the problem in society. Let me just tell you how I feel about you messing with a young child that's supposed to be your granddaughter. You are the reason why the world is messed up. Because now the younger girl is laying up with the old man. And the old man ain't got nothing in common with a young girl. And the young girl laying up with you only because she wants a dollar. Instead of you telling that young girl, listen, let me be a father figure, you take her in the bedroom and gap her legs up. What kind of respect we supposed to have for you? You can't tell me nothing. My wife is the same age as your wife, and you my granddad. What kind of mess we got going on here? We quick to rip off these women now for messing with these young boys. But I'm gonna tell you something. At the end of the day, that young boy can still teach that older woman something. But oh my God, when you got an old man messing with a young baby, that girl is messed up. And when he dead and gone, and she gonna resort back to a younger man, her age bracket, and she gonna want to be with somebody her or her age bracket. And then when she leave, you gonna be looking crazy. It ain't gonna work. Old man, young girl, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Old woman, young man, it ain't gonna work. First of all, you got too much advantage on the girl. You got too much on her. And sooner or later she gonna wake up and then she gonna disappear. And she gonna run with your money, your finances, she gonna run with everything. That's stupidity. It's sad that you would sit here and watch this young girl sell her body out because she's 20 years old and she wet. I'm keep it real with you. 20 years old, 21, 25 years old, 30 years old. She wet. Been there, done that. I was young, you was young. Act like you know. Stop playing dumb and keep it real. You know when a girl's in a young 18 through her mid 20s on up to her mid 30s, she is fertile and she is wet and the sex is erupting good. Because you know when they get a certain age, they start drying out on you. And the reason why they drying out is because the maturity of their body. Listen, you got to work for this. You ain't just finna get no freebie like talking about. So at the end of the day, what are we doing as older men? Laying with girls our children, our sons' age, our children age, our grandchildren age. What kind of man does that? I don't have no respect for you. You ain't no man. You's a cradle robber. That's what you are. I don't care if you get her and you take her down the aisle and marry her and you do whatever. You're robbing that child because first of all, how you and her gonna have some grandchildren? You're 80 years old, 90 years old. How you gonna have some grandkids with somebody that young? And young girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourself having an old man baby. You will sell your young virgins out for $1. You know you don't get your life back, don't you? You know you lose your life over that, don't you? You can't get that back. So tonight, as I get ready to wrap up, as I wrap up this talk tonight about fathering a child that's not yours, it's imperative that we understand to raise another man's child, we should raise that child as if it's our own. The child don't understand. It has to be taught. It has to be shown. It has to be put in the position to understand. Beating on a child. I don't like people who beat on children. I don't like. I'm being honest with you. When the Bible says spare the rod, spoil the child, it didn't mean go out there and get a stingy card, a big belt you hide it and whoop the children with. We as Negroes is still communicating what happened to us when we were slaves. There are ways to get to our children without beating them like they are slaves. No child deserves to take their clothes off and people look at their backs with latches on them like they're a runaway slave. Your child is not an animal. No man, no woman should treat a child as an animal because they are not. First of all, they're just like you. They didn't ask to come here. But somebody was in the room rocking and rocking and rocking, and there they came. You rocked them right on into the world, didn't you? So you don't have the right to abuse the child. I want the mother, but I don't want the child. You crazy. You crazy. If you love her, then wait them years till that child leave if you don't want that child in the house with you. Leave, wait. Date her until the child is gone if you really want her. But there's a lot that goes on with that wait. And I would take the time out to explain it to you, but I'm not. But there's a lot that goes on with that waiting on her because she has needs and you have needs, and then you don't want the bed to become defiled. Meaning is instead of God smiling on the bedroom, he's frowning on your bedroom. And bless our heart. Y'all stop these and men, let's stop treating these women like they are doggy bag. Let me touch this before I get off here. You done rawed her vagina out. Now you in the back and I ain't trying to raw her out that way. And when you get through rawing her out in the anal, now there you go putting the woman on her knees, trying to stick it in her mouth. So now you done rawed her out all the way around. She ain't got nothing left, and here you is ready to move on. And then you wonder why she up and down the street with a baseball bat and a 45 looking for you. You done took everything she got. You done abused her body, and you done abused her. I said it. I ain't gonna take it back. Jackie Ritual said, great teaching. Yeah, there's some good teaching tonight because we need to get off into this. We don't want to discuss this with our children. We don't want to talk about sex with our children. It's so bad now that the young babies who are 14, 12, and on up want to have sex, but they don't have sex because the mama gonna take them to the doctor and take them to the doctor to find out they ain't no virgin. But they check everything, but they ain't them. Let me tell you something, women. Start taking the children and girls in and check they ain't them. They having sex ain't them. Trying to keep they virtuous with you and having sex ain't them. Men, talk to your daughter. Tell them that their bodies is much worth than any dollar that a man can give them. Show your daughter that you love her so no man in the street that can walk up to her and tell her he love her and she gone with every wind and that's blown on the water. Talk to her. Let her know. You better. You are so much better than this. And I love you and me and your mother didn't work out. That don't stop nothing between me and you. Daddy love you, and you welcome to come to daddy for anything and talk about anything. At the end of the day, man, we are the ones responsible. God ain't going to talk to her about what she did. He gonna come talk to us just like he said, Adam. What is this that has happened? And why haven't you met me at the cold of the day? And you think if you think you're gonna sit up there and tell God it was that woman you gave me, let me tell you, brother, he's gonna send you into the outer darkness where you will be no more, and he's gonna send you there for being trifling and sour and sorry. Are y'all with me? He's gonna send you to hell for being trifling and sour and sorry. I keep saying sour. You're sour. He's gonna send you to hell for being trifling and sorry because he gave you a job to do. And when I look on back on yesterday, Jesus had a job to do. Did he not complete the mission? Jesus completed the mission. Didn't matter what we did and did not do, Jesus completed the mission. And I need us as men to make up our minds starting right now. Let's complete the mission. Let's complete the mission. Don't let no woman make you fail to do your job as a man. I don't care what she doing. I don't care how much child support she running down there. I don't care how much she letting her mouth run, talk crazy to you. Don't let that junk pay you no mind. You keep moving because at the end of the day, that child that she had belongs to you and she carried it and she done her job no matter what. She birthed it. Now do your job and take care of it. No matter what, you got a job to do. You got a responsibility to do. Take care of your responsibility. Don't let nobody in a black robe and an attorney general sit behind closed doors to tell you to take care of your child and rob you at the same time. I think it's cruel that a man go to court and the court says $300 and the woman only get 120 and the court getting the other 200 and some odd, the other 100 and some odd dollars. We still getting robbed. Women, get some sense. Teach these young girls not to do that. But what about the man that ain't taking care of his child? Well, give him his child and make him be responsible for it. What if he don't want his child? Then leave him alone. If he don't want the child, putting him on child support ain't doing it but making him angry and mad. Leave him alone. Trust God. You laid down there and got him. You know you wasn't married to him. You got the child wrong and he gave it to you wrong. What you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? Tell me. What do you expect to happen? You do wrong, you got it wrong. How do you think right gonna come back to you if you done it wrong? I know we're living in this day and age where women and young men, young girls, in fact, old people have come to the point. We need to redefine this hell. I think this Bible was written up on this and written up on that and written up on this, written up on that. Honey, you need to grab hope to your mind and come to the realization that this Bible is real. Pay attention to it. Everything that has been prophesied in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation is happening and then done happened. History says it happened. You can read all these books and talk about all these other gods if you want to. It's only one that died. It's only one that got up. And at the end of the day, every knee gonna bow and every tongue gonna confess. You carry your education, ladies and gentlemen, all you want to. Talk about when the J came in the 1800s and the September. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You gonna call that name. And well, yes, Lord. I don't want to get in preach mode here, but when it comes down to this Jesus, he died and he got up. And it's been proven through history. They're finding different things in Jerusalem. They're finding different things for over there. One thing about it, what do you call it? Ezekiel called him a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Isaiah called him the eagle eye. Yeah, I better quit. Let me move on. You gonna need him. Yeah. You gonna need him. You might as well get this other God out your head that you claim that you found out. All you crazy Israelites done found these books and read them. Your education will make you like Paul. Paul said, and all I got, and I use my education, and I got to know him. I got to know him. I got to know him. But at the end of the day, yes, indeed, I didn't get to know God spiritually. I want to say before I close out this show tonight, get to know Jesus spiritually. Stop watching these folks in the church because they're going to make mistakes. They're going to act a fool. They're going to do wrong. They're going to do everything. But get your eyes fixed on Jesus. Ain't nothing going to heal your body but Jesus. Ain't nothing going to raise your sadness and lift up your head but Jesus. Ain't nothing going to bring your children and father back to him but Jesus. Ain't nothing going to keep you happening but Jesus. We done got out, Lord, let me move. I'm fit to move on. I done went church on the men's show. But Father, without God, we can do nothing. Without Jesus, we are nothing and nobody. If it had not been for Jesus, where would we be? Look at your child right now and ask the question, if it had not been for you, where would they be? Where would your child be without you? Some children made it to be successful entrepreneurs. Some children made it over the line. But what if you have hindered your own child from making it? And think about the children that did make it over the line to be successful. What if their father was in their life? Look how much further they would be. Men, we hold the power and the destiny of our children's lives. It is our responsibility. It is our duty to take care of our children. It is our duty, not the wife. It is our due diligence to provide. That's what God said. The creator of all creation said it. Jesus, Father, said. Because if it weren't for him, there wouldn't be no Jesus. And you know something, as I look back and close out, God recognized the blood so much that he said, but when I see the blood, I'll pass over. I won't do my work because I see my son's blood. I won't go against it. Men, let's get in our children's life like that. I'm sorry. Let us get in our children's life like that. That when I see my son, I can't be angry with the mother because I'm too busy trying to make sure he knows that I love him and that I want to protect him. And I want him to know that he has a father that cares for him. Let's do it, brethren. We can do it. We can do it. Good night. Thank you for watching. You that are going to watch later, many of you that's watching on here. I want to thank you personally for joining us, our co-hosts and other hosts that probably had some difficulty getting on because I set up a program where I automatically signed them in and did not phone call them how it works. But I was hoping that they would still have made it in and made it in. But tonight, God knows what he had needed and was wanted. So I want to thank each and every last one of you. Nick Woodard, thank you for telling me it was good teaching. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this tonight. I'm hoping that you will tune back in. Hopefully next week that we will have our crew back on and we'll be able to certainly show the gratitude and the love and communicate on a very strong topic, because now I want to go deeper. I want to talk about the hidden things in the man's mind. I do. I want to talk about it. The secrets that's lying dormant in our mind that will help us to come forward instead of being held back psychologically, mentally, which is causing us to hold back. Just a lot of hurt in men that need to come out of me. I want to talk about it. I want to deal with it. But until then, I say good night. Thank you for joining us and see you next round. And don't forget on tomorrow night, Women's Round Table will be here. Yeah, Women's Round the Table will be here with our newest host, Kiki. Phenomenal young lady with strong advice to women. Join her. Now 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Join her as we move forward. Y'all have a good night here. Y'all have a wonderful